both directions. Both directions.
20.
Yeah.
It's 21,
So 15.
That is the same. You got 15. 15 will be just one direction. So coming back will also be another 15.
Okay.
Okay? What about that? What about that?
I think
Okay,
it's
so
I
again,
think the point is that, you know, one way to think about it is the way that we do,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
The other way is
It's
the back
the
and
way back and
forth.
forth.
But it's still the commonality is that they will be thinking about the unity.
Yes.
Because of
So the
that
variable.
keyword in there.
So if you get 15 going and one block and then 15 back, one block. So it will be 30.
But, okay,
well,
so,
what we can look is the distance from where the person lived to the school, because the person that lived the furthest would have to probably.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Of course, it's the fairest.
But unless we want to make it even for everybody, there's that. We had to look at that also. Either we make the person who live the furthest pay more, or we put everybody in the same playing field. And since we're going in that direction, we're coming back, then.
I think the question is the fairest
it
possible.
wouldn't be fair for everybody to pay the
The same amount.
Since they live.
Well, yeah, that's probably the way most people would look at it, that they shouldn't pay more. But you can look at it also, we all going to the same direction and we're all coming back in the same direction.
Not
also.
all. Maria drops off, Jason drops off. So technically, not all of them are going. It may seem like they're going the same direction, but some are coming off at some point, right? So
Agree. Well, that's when the distance comes into play. Clearly, well, I was gonna say Lara is the one that's the furthest, but that's the person who's driving. Lara's mom is the one driving, so clearly she has to start from her house to go and pick up everybody, and then go back and drop off everybody, and then go home. So no matter how you look at it, the person driving will be the one with the longest distance, because they have to get everybody else off before they go home. Otherwise, they would have to go home and go back and drop the person, which wouldn't make sense at all. So that has to be taken into consideration also.
You know, the discussion is very, very good. And when it is the real classroom, I would suggest that in a group, okay, I want you to now answer the question, which do you think is the fairest? It's good to hear the different arguments, which is what we need to develop within these kids, right? So, and I think they have to decide which method they need to present. So this is the time that they have to come up with a conclusion.
I believe, can I say that?
Okay.
Are you about to talk?
No.
No, what I was going to say is that we can choose not to restrict them into a specific answer. If they see it differently, I think it's important to let them explore it that way and share with the class. Because I have to be honest with you, when I first looked at the problem, I didn't even think about half of the things that I was thinking about a few seconds ago. When I first read it, I was thinking about, damn, this person lived far away. But it didn't cross my mind that's the person who's driving. So of course they will be driving the furthest, because they have to leave their house, get everybody out, then drop off everybody else, and then go. So,
but this is the person that's also always driving, right?
well, that's the only person driving.
Right,
Yes,
right.
agree.
So again, I want to push you further on how you think students would progress, or what happens next? How would kids think through and move on this problem?
Well, the way I'm seeing it is that some of them may not think about the way we think, and just
right.
They may think about, let's see how long it takes, or let's see the distance, and then let everybody pay the same. But I still feel like...
You mean, when you say everybody pay the same, do you mean 4 people just divide the $300 by 4?
Yes.
It's the easy way out.
that's easy way out.
That's what happens at dinner time, when you go out with friends, right?
Someone else would say, yes, some people eat the most, but want to pay the least. Somebody would say, hold up, But this person is very close to school. Like
Right.
the person may say, hey,
Maria almost
she's
could
right
walk.
there. Right there by the school. She gets picked up the last, and then she gets dropped off the first. So she's the shortest distance. Why she has to pay all this
75.
money?
Why would she be paying $75?
She could have just walk home, walk to school and walk back. Of course, the walking is different from being in the car. But
You might have to decide, $75, or do I just want to walk it?
well, somebody else may
Okay,
say,
again, so where
what
we
about
go-
the security? By being in the car, I'm secure. If I'm walking, anything can happen. Somebody can snatch me.
So I think hearing the different arguments is very, very important for them to develop their critical thinking and most importantly, the decision making. At the very end, they still have to decide what they're answering.
Yeah, the group will decide what is more important to them.
Your thought?
Yeah.
Okay, so what? Okay, so let's think about this problem and think about your population of students. One thing to think about with a mathematical task is who has access to this problem. Yesterday when we went through that problem, we kind of listed out, when we went through the consecutive sums problem, we kind of listed out the math, and we said, who can get going on this problem, right? How does that compare to this problem? Yeah, remind us, Sarah?
Oh, yeah, my name is Sarah. We thought this was a really much easier to enter for any student, because we thought students could easily say, well, Marla should pay less than Lara. If that's the most they can take away from it, they can. We think most students will be able to come away with that.
Okay. What else? Who else? And actually, everything. You've actually used this problem, right? I'm sorry, your name again?
Andrea.
Andrea. So Andrea, what do you find in terms of student access? Are there issues around can all of the students get going on the problem?
No.
Okay.
A lot of them just want to split things evenly because that's the easiest thing. I think because they don't want to persevere and make it uneven amongst the students.
Okay. So some kids might be ready to just divide it into 4 parts and say, we're done. This is our method.
Or divide it even just to say that Laura's mom is driving, that she doesn't have to pay, that the other 3 should pay.
Okay, did everybody hear that one?
Which is a method also.
Right? Does Laura have to really contribute into this?
No, it's just they agree to pay.
Payment? Or is that $300, should that really just be between the 3 neighbors? Right? So that's a nice different option. Yeah.
What I'm thinking based on my population is that a lot of kids going to end up asking clarification questions. Rather than reading it and abstract it from there, they're going to ask, is Laura mom going to pay?
Right.
Is this is close? And this is a 1 block or a 2 block? And so they're going to ask questions rather than going back to the text. You know.
Okay, so questions like, is this 1 block or 2 block, right? Is that an important math element? We can kind
Yeah,
of...
but what I'm thinking, rather than observing, making a determination, they will be asking teachers for clarification. And at that time, we have to say, go back, discuss among, rather than we give them any clue. But if we give them a clue, we will kill the purpose of that task.
Okay, so one kind of teacher issue struggle strand about this problem is that we could imagine, you know what, I might have a bunch of students who are just going to be wanting to ask me to kind of lead them through the problem, right? Okay, yeah, you had a comment?
Yeah, what I wanted to add is the fact that whether a lot of parents have to pay or not. I feel like if she was the only one driving her daughter to school, she would have to pay all the costs.
Right.
Without picking up anybody. She would have to pay all the costs by herself. So now by picking up the others, what they can do is help her reduce her costs by chipping in something.
So one thing that might be an interesting question here is for students that might be thinking about one road on this, which is maybe Laura's not a part of the payment, there's another interesting conversation. And so do you find students who can kind of have that conversation, right? Okay, what would be ways to simplify this problem? Or what would you want, what do we mean in problem solving, what do we mean by simplifying assumptions? And what would that mean in this problem? You know what, go ahead and turn to a partner. What would be a list of things that you could think of, oh, this is one route I could, what are some different routes that we could be simplifying this problem, okay?